Gonna upgrade the MPC today. I want to just get this idea down before I do that. Also, just wanted to acknowledge and celebrate, man. I got a big win to celebrate today, man. And I'm not the type that used to be like super like when when I'd get a win. Used to feel like it was. I don't like saying I was humble. That sounds like a brat. I don't know. I have conflicting feelings about the word humble right now. Thinking about the definition and thinking about connotations and thinking about different things. I just had to learn to reevaluate that. I'm in this stage of rewriting my reality, and just I've learned to understand that along with kind of being a little reserved and not being, I guess I just don't like the idea of being flashy or egotistical is I guess the big thing. Um, but in my fear of not being egotistical or however you put that, a lot of times I shortchange myself. So over the past couple of years, I've been learning to increasingly recognize the value of celebrating wins. That kind of falls in the same category as gratitude, I guess, in a sense. And man, we got a big one with Grayscope, man. I don't want to. I feel like I don't want to say anything about it yet, but we got a big one, and just watch. Yeah, just watch. I'm not gonna say anything else about that. That's not my business to share. That's the crew business to share. But we're excited, man, and I'm just grateful. I do want to document. I am going to take a minute, sit in front of the camera, and document the moment, though, because this is a major milestone. Um, something that something that's my brainchild in some ways, and also everybody else has pieces of this brainchild. And as I've been telling everybody else, everybody's really tightening up their corners of the castle, and because everybody's tightening up their corners of the castle, some amazing things are happening in the ways that all these corners are coming together and collaborating, and yeah, just got some things to be really really grateful for, and a win to celebrate, man. So a number of wins, not even just one. I mean, we'll speak about all of it as we come, but um, let me just get to this. I heard MPC 3.4 came out. There's so many things I want to talk about, but I'm trying not to be long-winded. MPC 3.4 came out, and it is no longer a beta. So I figure at this point I can go ahead and install it. Um, I was hesitant to install it before because one, it's learning something new when I'm just trying to get back to making beats. And I just want to get back to that. So I did that over the past few weeks. I started to just play around, making beats again. The other things I want to do, like taking actual music lessons and maybe taking a master class on the MPC so I can really learn the ins and outs of how this thing works so I can become much more efficient. It made me even expand my capabilities or the ideas and the things that I can play with and do. Like I experimented for the first time last week or the week before using the XY effects and recording that into a beat. All these years I've had MPCs, I could have been doing this, but it seemed intimidating, so I didn't do it. I did the old head thing and I'm just gonna do what I know. And that's why. So experimenting and learning the tool is kind of opening up my eyes to different things I can do. And then of course MPC stems, man. I've been doing a lot of just chopping lately. Um, but MPC 3.4, I heard or read somewhere, actually, I read somewhere that um, you couldn't use, you couldn't do something with regards to expansion packs with the beta version. And I was working with learning how to use Expansion Builder for my drums to see if that would be a useful way of putting drums together or making it so that I had certain key drum kits available on the MPC when I'm ready to go. One of the other reasons I didn't upgrade to MPC 3 was they only upgrade the hardware, the standalone. They don't upgrade the software. And I use both at the same time, usually when I'm messing around and making a beat. I'd gotten used to just using the software, and I realized that maybe the reason I stopped making beats or didn't make beats as often was because I was just sitting there on a computer, and I've been pulling away and detaching from computers and tech as much as I can lately, realizing how much of my life tech has consumed, and wonder if that's kind of contributed to some of the decline in mental health that I experienced over the years that I've been recovering from and healing from. By the way, mental health conversations are coming back in some really special ways, but they haven't been forgotten. And it's going to be about more than mental health. 2025's plan is really coming together, and I'm still writing the plans, but a lot going on. But back to MPC. So the software on the desktop and the standalone wouldn't have been synced up, and maybe it's OCD, I don't know, but I didn't feel comfortable um, upgrading for that point purpose too. And then again, I was playing with the expansion builder. I was bringing my expansions into the desktop software. I learned how to import them into this and into standalone. And I was like, okay, I'm learning something new. Why upgrade? And there were other reasons on top of that, but since I've looked at a couple of the demos that are coming out there. I've heard somebody mention expansion builders. I figure I'll at least go to the website, look at it, maybe download it. And after looking at the release notes, and actually we'll download it regardless. I'll download it regardless, but look at the release notes real quick and get it going. As a matter of fact, let's get it downloaded. Well, I want to get this idea down first if I can remember it. Yeah. That's what I want. Learn a cheap way to get started with these things, man. Because I'm funky with the info on this thing sometimes. So let's definitely slow that down. Ooh, and you not in record mode, baby. That sounds off, doesn't it? That's too fast. Something about that time of the second. This is when I see it. Bring it back to 1. Right, now let's double it. And on the second, put a little variation in there. Oops. Oops, come on. Let's do it on the first. Let's do it on the second. Ooh, that doesn't sound right. Time ain't right there. Nudge that. A little late on that one. Let's just move it. I'm still My screen has been acting up here too. That's another reason I think I'm interested in upgrading. To see if it solves some of these little headaches I've been dealing with lately. Thought that was horizontal. Scroll. Okay. Come on. I want vertical zoom. There we go. There we go. Yeah, some of the pinch and zoom stuff has been weird on here lately. So let's take you. Okay, that gets the idea down so I can go on to the upgrade, I think. All right, let's go get this download real quick. I think Kai is in the other browser. I know I got 1,000 tabs open, whatever. Where's my Kai tab? I know it's sad. And people say, oh, yeah, you got to go get diagnosed professionally for ADD, ADHD. If this ain't a sign, I don't know what is. I got this many tabs open. This is my brain sometimes. Too many tabs open. All right. Wait while I go. Ooh. Oh shit, I was a record mode still. My bad. Oopsie. Sometimes the mistake is the fix. Type put any of those drums into this. No, let's not get distracted. I see ADD. I was gonna get into that rabbit hole. Let me get over here and find my MPC window. Let's see, downloads. PC series downloads. User guide. Version 3.4. Download. MPC 3.4. Let's go to software folder. Here's. It's not that one. Kai. Doesn't look like the one either. Kai, MPC, there we go. PC, keep 37, PC, let's just call it firmware. Okay, user guide. Should have our known issues and stuff like that. Let's look for known issues before we upgrade. Always important. Okay, we got an MPC important notes section there to check out. If anybody is watching, this is on I know if anybody's watching on Instagram, this is also gonna be on my YouTube and on the HFR YouTube. Facebook friends, it's on my Facebook too. It's streaming to all locations right now, I believe. Let me double check. Yeah, it's going. Well, actually, that audio is coming through. Yeah, it is. All right, I'm gonna do some reading real quick. Let this play while I do. Going through the doc, and I figure I should just go ahead and say this. I'm skipping through all the regular manual stuff. I'm trying to get to the end where usually people have put it like known issues, notes, stuff like that. I see their notes at the beginning, but I just want to get familiar with what's in the document. So I'm going through the table of contents to see. I'm all the way down to the appendix though. Technical specifications, trademark licenses. It doesn't look like there's going to be anything else here. SATA drive installation. I wonder if I can install one in the E37. I didn't think so. I thought you stuck with the hardware you have. I know I installed a bigger hard drive in that MPC Live when I got that. That was really helpful. I don't know if it was a bigger drive or if it was just installation of an only drive. Maybe there wasn't a drive in there at all when it came to. I'll have to look. I guess I have to read the manual. I just wanted to get back to making beats and stuff, and I guess I just didn't think too hard about it. All right, so let's just go right into the manual. So let's just look at this real quick. Interesting note here, just in the introduction. Please note this manual does not cover the following: using MPC products with an LCD screen with the MPC software application. That's what I do. So if that creates a problem for me, what I'll have to do is downgrade. But I saw there's a downgrade feature. I'll just have to make sure and check here to make sure that there are no warnings about being able to downgrade. Like, hey, once you upgrade to this, you can't downgrade anymore. All right. And maybe there are release notes for 3.4, which I'll check for as well. Ooh, and it says does not cover the following as well: using your MPC3 supported hardware as a controller for the MPC software. So those two alone make me like, should I be upgrading? So we're gonna find out. Like, how would you say this if? I guess maybe it's to cover their backs to say, hey, we haven't tested it or we've tested it and there are some problems. I get the feeling that usually when somebody makes a disclaimer like this, it means that there are some problems and known issues. At least I've seen that with other software companies. I worked in tech for over 20 years. I was a server administrator, desktop architect, engineer. I mean, I did this tech stuff with computers and hardware and software on a pretty integral level, or a pretty deep level. So I've had some experiences that just make me say, be careful. Let's see what else we got in here. And it may be nothing, but I've also seen some really funny stuff with Akai and tech in the past. So this is another reason why I want to be very careful. because to throw off my workflow or to add something else to the mix right now, I want to stay focused, and that would definitely be a distraction that I'm not welcoming right now. All right, MPC 2 versus MPC 3. Let's see what they got to say in here. Ah, all right. So the transition from MPC 2 to MPC 3 introduces significant architectural changes, most notably the unification of tracks and programs into a single track container. That's look kind of cool to me. It's going to require some adjustments or getting used to something new. But this next sentence is what concerns me. This redesign aims to streamline and accelerate workflow, but also results in MPC2 projects not being loadable into MPC3 with identical behaviors. So all the beats and stuff that I've started working on recently, and again, since I'm doing it between the hardware, hardware and the laptop, if I can't open that, if I have to upgrade it to MPC3 to use it on the hardware, then I obviously won't be able to open it on the desktop anymore. For things like creating and exporting stems, that's a challenge. So concern there. Sure, there are workarounds, but I don't want to have a workflow that's built around workarounds. So because of this, we strongly recommend saving a new copy of all MPC2 projects before importing to preserve editing capabilities. Right, so if I upgrade, so if I have the old MPC2 version, then I go upgrade it to work on it on the MPC3. Now I have two different versions of the project file. If I make changes on the MPC and then I want to go export stems, I have to make sure it works, and I can only do it here on the MPC, which is counterproductive if I just want to if I want to save them to a folder and upload them on the laptop anyway. I find it much easier and much faster to upload on the laptop. I'm also hearing from a lot of people that I've been listening to on YouTube that some of the processors and things like that in the MPC software of higher quality than in the hardware, and vice versa. So I'm still learning the differences between the hardware and software. There are pros and cons to each of them, and it's part of the reason why I love using them together. All right, so let's see what else we're saying. Oh yeah, this is definitely not comprehensive enough. So let's see if we got release notes. Um, is there anything I want to mention about these notes here, real quick? Um, this is basically just telling you what's going to happen and what to expect when you go to import a project, and what some of your options are, what's going to happen, which I really don't care about. Again, I don't want two versions of my project, so I don't even want to go down that rabbit hole. Pardon me. Yesterday, hey, one of the things to celebrate, man. Yesterday, 5 days since I met my wife, the most unexpected roller coaster ride in my life that has been saving grace, and one of the biggest reasons why my life is something I consider worth living now. Um, and not that I depend on her moving forward, but I would not want to spend another day without this woman. This woman has changed my life for the better, and I love and appreciate the life out of her. She's helped me heal, helped me find self love, and we both kind of done some of the same for ourselves. We went live yesterday and just kind of touch base with one another, just because I wanted to kind of document it. I'm also like, we're not engaging much on social media, so live is probably the way we'll do things for a while. Not probably not going to be republishing lives, and I might even be getting rid of them on other platforms after we do them. But I can, like, by getting rid of them, I mean move them to an archive or put them in private. But by at least recording these things, I'm getting the documentation for the documentaries that we're working on. Documentaries for me, for myself and my wife, what I'd like to do for her. Uh, the Grace Gold documentaries that I've been kind of working on in my head and doing some little write ups and even recording some. Like I recorded some for on one member. I won't mention yet. When I took a trip down south, um, yeah, just a lot. But all of this is digression, right? So let's get back to looking for the what you call it, the known issues. Let's see if somewhere in this MPC download there's a manual. Comes in a zip file, so let's unzip it, double click it, unzip it. Oh, and all you get is the updater app. That's par for the course. So since I unzipped it, unzipped the updater app, let's just go ahead and move the zip file to the trash. He There was something else I wanted to mention about this. Oh, my concerns with the MPC. One of the reasons I'm also so concerned when it comes to upgrades is I've experienced this. One of the things I've experienced with the Kai very often is sessions I create with older versions of the software, not being able to open them in newer versions of the software and get everything. I've got a beat right now for a project that I really love, and it's one of my favorite beats. It's really an expansive beat, and I had to I had to rebuild a lot of that beat from scratch. The sequences were there, but I had to import all the wave files manually. I had to go find the plugins, and one of the plugins may still not be working. I think I'm still missing the bass. Like I still don't. I'm trying to get this back together so I can export the stems and send them over to engineering, and all of that has been messed up because of a software upgrade. So now I got other things in the works, and if I do a software upgrade now, what's that going to do? Is that going to mean that now I'm just doing stuff in the software on the laptop until there's some way that for it to work with the MPC itself? They're just too many questions. So let's see if we can find a guide. Let's go to our account. Sometimes the release notes are in your account. Sucks to buy. What are you doing? All right, hold on. Let me switch windows real quick. Do this. Be doing that. Oh, I just realized the X5 isn't working. Why aren't you working? X4, my bad. Man, I just realized that I might have been streaming with just the camera on. I hope not. I hope MPC's been showing. Where's the X4? It's still not showing up. Oh, well, good enough. Let me just do this real quick. Let me just get logged in real quick. Okay, logged in. Let's come back. Yeah, where I want to be with the MPC. Yes, both views could. Oh, poop! I didn't mean to do that there. Oh well. All right, see all your product registrations. MPC key 37. View downloads. Manuals. That's what I want to see. Offers free standalone plugin. Got that already. 1 month of Splice. Don't think I'm doing that. I don't love these sample libraries. One, because as somebody put it in the words for me, thankfully, they're curated, pre-curated, and I kind of enjoy the dig. But terms of service on those seem to be point contentious. There seems to be a lot of debate about whether there's some gotchas in the terms of service, and that if using these sample libraries, if you use one of these and you start to make money, you're gonna have some legal challenges with them trying to claim crazy stuff after you've paid for the service. So I'm like, just not a headache. I'd rather just deal with sample clearance directly with the sample owners and get rid of these clearinghouses or these library people. All right, so the user guide. Excuse me. I hope that wasn't bad. I should have covered the mic. I'm sitting there covering my Pardon me. Wash my hands. Hold on. Be right back. Wash my hands. Chip did a vampire sneeze there. Interesting that I'm sneezing and my allergies kicking in. Oh, I got a little buddy. Rennie's starting. All right. See what that's about. Let's get back to business. All right. So firmware looks like it's just a update, but okay, there we go. So when you expand on the 3.41 update, standalone user guide, which we were just looking at. Ha, vampire sneeze that time. I'm gonna have to go blow my nose too. So it's gonna be a real part of me in a second here, but I'll let something play while I do that possibly. All right, guide, how to update. I think this is what I want. Okay. I think I've already got all my answers. So I don't even know if I watch that, but let's see. All right, before you update, it's just telling you how to tell whether or not you need to update. Now preparing for the update, backing up your data. Yeah, of course. Update drivers. That's usually done with the updater in the software. It usually takes you through the process of installing the drivers. But also, I guess if you're using other, if you're on Windows and not a Mac, there could be other complications there. I just use Macs with this stuff partially because it simplifies things. Okay, need to be connected to a power source. Of course, you don't want it to power off during an update because an incomplete update can turn your hardware into a brick. Connected directly to USB on the computer. Of course, you want that. And preferably with the computer, the cable that came with the MPC. Longer cables and other cables, sometimes you can't be sure. And you know what? That's actually a good point. The way my MPC is connected is I have it connected to a dock. I have this OWC dock, which I'm not very happy with, to be honest, man. This thing has been, every once in a while, it just cuts off. And that means it either stops charging my laptop or disconnects all the hardware connections to my laptop. I at one point I had my external hard drive connected to it and it was doing that. And you don't want your hard drives just to be randomly getting disconnected. You can corrupt your hard drive. So I had to reconnect my hard drive directly to the Mac, and maybe I need to consider connecting the MPC directly to the Mac. When it comes to streaming and stuff, you know, all these are connected to the dock. So I mean, I've seen even on when doing the streams, it'll just blank out, and that's probably why the webcam's not working right now. For example, it'll just blank out, and maybe a camera won't come back up or something like that. So also worry about my camera. So OWC, I'm not sure if I'm a fan of those docks anymore. This is the second one I bought. I bought it while I was in Florida, and I'm sending it back. All right. So do not power off the MPC while updating. Right, just what I was talking about with the power source. Eliminate distractions. Disconnect all other USB MIDI devices from the computer. Yeah, all right. This update process. People can read this on their own. Okay. If you have any issues, contact our support team. I don't know what that experience has been like for others, but I know in the past, before Akai went to InMusic Brands as the software and the web front end for support, communicating with MPC support was not something I enjoyed. I'll just leave it at that. All right, updating on PC and Mac. Yes. Emergency update. What is that? Okay, not even worry about that. Review update path. Manual update mode. Okay. None of this is discussing known issues either, which is a concern. So yeah, since it's just saying this doesn't work with together, that one manual does not cover the two working together. There are the caveats and all that. I think I already see. Upgrading to MPC 3 is still not on my radar, um, and I'm kind of sad about that, man. Um, but maybe after I get into making more and more music, it'll be worthwhile to just have the standalone. And once I get really into to the point where I really understand the machine and it's second nature, maybe I can get to the point where I'm just using standalone and saving the session files to SD card or something. I don't know. We'll see. But for right now, I love my hybrid system working with the software and standalone. So no upgrade happening today. Is that everything I wanted to talk about today? Let's see. I kind of feel like I don't want to let this cat out the bag, man. I'm not gonna let the cat out the bag. Ooh. So that is not something to discuss. Talked about the wife stuff. Um, Changes coming on there. I don't want to talk about any of this other stuff. All right. Well, I hope y'all have a good day, good week. Peace, love.